Hi guys, so me and Terry have just picked up the new archetype from Ignition Assault this week. I'm be playing Megalith, the new rock ritual archetype, and Terry's going to be playing with the at Ignisters, the new Cyberse.
So basically, Cyber DDD.
Yeah. So we've still got a couple of proxies in the decks. I'm proxying Pot of Extravagance because someone's borrowing them.
And I'm proxying two Agnister cards. Three. One Picari, one Achichi, and one Ignister Island. They should be fairly recognizable, but we'll probably state it just in case.
Yeah, so that's my opening hand. It's pretty terrible as far as Megaliths go.
I've opened pretty well, I think. I just needed one, I think, maybe one more piece. I think we'll see what we draw.
Yeah, so my plan is usually to end on a Megalith Orc, so that I can ritual summon during my opponent's turn, usually trying to go for something like the big level 8 that can pop their guys, or something like a Shinobird Baron.
Right, so I foolish the Picari Agnister, who basically it adds an I spell or trap. I then activate Idol Reborn, which is the monster born for Agnister. So specially summon it, and then going to probably add, he says, till we get permanence, which is kind of sad. But we should be able to carry on playing.
Yeah, so one of the only things I know about AI is that they really rely on their field spell.
Yeah,
and Picari can add the field spell.
Yeah, and we make the rookie mistake of activating a spell in the area that impermanence was in. So that's kind of fucked.
That's Terry realizing his mistake.
So we try to see what we go on from here. Normal Baru, which is the Armageddon Knight, basically for Agnisters. And when it's also a tuner. When it's used for a synchro summon, you can of a Cyberse, synchro monster, you can special summon one of the other materials used except for itself. So we send Doyon, which adds back a Agnister monster when it's normal special summoned, and when it's used for a link summon of a Cyberse monster, you can add back one eye spell or trap from your graveyard. So we use Baru to summon back Picari.
So that's the Beast of the Pharaoh effect, yeah?
Yep. And then we've summoned out Winged Pegasus, and Winged Pegasus basically has effect during your main phase. You can destroy spell and traps your opponent controls up to the number of Agnister monsters you control. That doesn't target, which is pretty sweet. And also, if a monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while it's on your field or in your graveyard, you can banish it and then target one card your opponent controls, shuffle it back into the deck. And now I believe I've activated Picari's second effect, which is you can target one Agnister monster you control, except for itself, make it level 4 until the end of the turn, I believe.
So the Megalith effects, there's 3 level 4s, 3 level 8s. The level 8s all discard themselves to and act as a ritual spell. I'm just reading Light Dragon. It has a protection effect, and you can detach one to pop a monster, or is it any card?
Pop monsters up to the number of Agnisters you control. And then its last effect is if another monster you control inflicts battle damage, you can special summon one Cyberse monster from the graveyard, I believe.
So the level 8, they all act as ritual spells by discarding themselves from hand. The level 4s, all, when they're on the field, let you ritual summon, using themselves and, well, they can exclusively use themselves or themselves in another card. So that's me added Ophiel, which is the Stratos for the deck. So that's me using the level 8. That's the, I'm still learning the names, but that's the one that negates targeting.
Baritron or something like that?
Something like that, yeah. So discard that, use Manju as the tribute to special summon it. I get to add one from my deck. So I'll add Haggith, which in a second you'll see I use Ophiel's effect to tribute itself to summon the Haggith from hand. So Haggith allows me to add a Megalith spell or trap from my deck to my hand. So we have the equivalent of Ichi and Picari. I don't think you can see that. I'm pretty sure I added Doc, which is that allows you to ritual summon when it's on field, but you can also do it during your opponent's main phase. So that's the interruption. You can special summon something from your hand. Oh no, I didn't add Ock. That's off Haggith. I added the trap, which can special summon one. I already had Ock. Ock's effect, when it's ritual summoned, lets me draw one, discard one. I draw Candle, but I don't have any ritual spells in hand. I run very few ritual spells. I run the Incantation, Inception, and the Shinobird Calling. So that allows me to special summon one of them, and that means I have 8 levels on board, which I can use for tribute. The level 8s, you've got Aratron, which is the it can prevent negation targeting by shuffling. Oh no, it puts a ritual monster from my grave on the bottom of the deck. There's Fagel. Is it Fagel?
Which is that the attack boosting one? Yeah, the attack boosting one.
That boosts all your monsters' attack by 300 for every ritual monster in your grave.
And then there's Balthor, which is
Balthor. That destroys for every unique name of ritual monsters in your grave. So I've summoned Shinobaron Peacock, which bounces up to 3 monsters, and he's destroyed it with Light Dragon.
Yeah. We normally summon the Flame Buffalo, make the I believe Lingarebo.
Yep.
Pretty cool card. It can it takes 1 level 4 lower Cyberse, and when a trap card is activated, you contribute it, negate the effect of it, and if you do, you can banish that trap. And then if it's in your graveyard, you contribute 1 Adagnister monster that was special from the extra deck to special summon it back. So it's pretty neat. I think I discard Chi off of the Flame Buffalo to draw 2. I think I drew into a Silent Mining and something else.
I think I was checking to see if Lingarebo negates the effect of the activation of a trap card. So I was still free to use the Megalith Americans.
Yeah. So I think I use mining to add Doyon, which I think adds back, which I think Isildio adds back. Next, I think is it in this one that I use the interaction, which is kind of cool. Ignister Island has an interesting effect, which is you can banish it from your graveyard. Banish a Ignister from your graveyard to set it to your side of the field, which is really nice. So it can be pretty nice discard fodder off of things like mining and maybe twins and so on. I think I'm going to activate Mr. Island's effect, which lets me, if I have no monsters in my main monster zone, I can special summon a level 4 lower Adagnister from my hand. But for the rest of the turn, I can only special summon Cyberse monsters, and I also can't special summon a monster with the same original attribute as I've used to summon. So if I summon Doyon, I can't summon another Dark.
From his hand.
From his hand, yeah, sorry.
So you can still summon from the extra deck. You can still summon Darks.
So I think what am I going to here?
Wasn't that Update Jammer?
Might have been, I think so. Yeah.
Well, you're fingering that Update Jammer, you're thinking about it. Yeah.
Update Jammer. I can't remember why. I think I was considering somehow making an Avramax for some reason, but so we use Island again, special summon Ichi to add a 4 lower Adagnister, so we add the I think that's Doshin. It's just if you control an Adagnister, you can special summon it from your hand, and you can return 1 Cyberse Link monster from your grave to your extra deck, and if you do, you can add 1 Isle of Fusion from your deck to your hand, a themed fusion spell. And I use Picari to add.
It works like Fusion of Fire, doesn't it? You can use your opponent's Link monster.
Yeah, as long as you use a Adagnister from material. You can also use it to summon just any fusion Cyberse monster. So in theory, I can summon like Violet Chimera and other things, but
Cyber's Clock Dragon.
Yep, I love that card. Need to actually end up using it. And then we summon up not the boss monster kind of Agnister, the playmaker, if you will, Dark Templar Agnister. It's used. He's right. It's not used by playmaker. It's fine. But yeah, so Dark.
Why call it the playmaker?
Because it is. It's the best boy. So Dark Templar Agnister is just if a monster is special summoned to a zone it points to, even including the damage step, you can special summon any number of Agnister monsters from your graveyard to the zone it points to, which is pretty nice, just to extend. And also, if it destroys a monster by battle, you can special summon one, I think, Cyber's Link monster from your graveyard, which is kind of nice.
It made the Dark Templar attack twice using the update jammer.
Yeah.
So he was attacking twice with that and then once with the Quantum Dragon, so I had no defense against that.
Game 2.
Yep, so I decided to go second because I know AIs kind of like to go first. Look at the Balancer Lord. So if you've seen my mathematic video, you know I'm familiar with sort of this kind of combo.
So I think we're just trying to dig here for anything. So we go for the Wicked. I think I'm hoping to get anyway to special summon to a Wicked zone so I can carry on.
Is that double mining?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, we didn't really. You see, maybe this is where we should play some more like just one-off extenders, maybe things like backup secretary and things like that. But this is sort of a preliminary build of the deck, really, just giving it a shot. I think we just pass, really. Yeah.
Yeah. So Wicked. So Cyber's Wicked has the effect that it can't be destroyed by battle or card effect, and also the monsters it point to can't be destroyed by. Is it just battle?
I believe so. Something along those lines. It's pretty good protection.
So that's me using my proxy pot of extravagance.
Yep. And I imagine if they've seen the math video, also familiar with Wicked's other effect of if a monster special summons to its zone, you can banish a monster from your graveyard to add a Cyber's Tuner.
Yep.
The good old Balancer Lord plays.
So that's pre-preparation of rites, adding Shinobird Calling and the Shinobaron Peacock, the one that bounces monsters. That was me just double checking. So I knew I couldn't be over it, so I figured there was no point really going for big attacks this turn. Because I had the Shinobaron, I could just set that up. So going for the incantation plays. I think I opened both Bookstone and Pencil Plume, so I was able to just really, between that extravagance and pre-prep, I was able to set up real advantage. That's me adding the Ophiel, the Stratos of the deck. Revealed that for the Pencil Plume, which will get me the Candle, which will get me the Incantation Inception.
You see, I thought he was going to tribute summon for a god card. To be honest, not gonna lie.
That's me using the Inception to summon the Ophiel.
No, mate. What you need to do is what you need to do is actually summon Plasma. There we go. That's what you want.
So are you going to go for ritual D heroes now?
I was tempted, but at one point that.
Hey, Cyber Angels. Malicious is the full tribute for a Cyber Angel.
Yeah. There's actually weird bits of synergy with that. At least with their card Cyber, I think it was Cyber 2/2 Bond, which you can just tribute a warrior or a fairy from your hand, special summon itself. It had some pretty neat interactions. We might end up doing that at some point when we're, really running low on content. If you guys actually want to see a ritual hero Cyber Angel deck, let us know.
Yeah, so I've gone for the Arc, draw one, discard one. I think I'm just figuring out what to discard. I discard the Incantation Inception, it looks like. And the effect of Portal, the field spell lets me add one back to my hand. So I add back the Haggith because he Did you ash it this game?
I think so. I think it.
Oh no, it can't be this game because it's not in grave. Also, both of those set cards are called by the grave, so it wasn't this one.
Must have been the third game, I think.
Yeah.
I was waiting.
I must have searched Portal this time with Haggith.
So we activate our second, the one we drew. Let's see what we get. I think. Oh, this is what I think I go for it, don't I? Yeah. I think I add a Grid Sweeper.
Yeah, so Grid Sweeper can special summon itself if there's a field spell on the field. It doesn't need to be in your own field spell zone. So as I controlled Megalith Portal, you can special summon it. It also has the effect that you can banish itself and a link monster from the grave to destroy a monster.
It's just destroy one card without targeting. It's pretty good. So this is what I mean. Like, it's a one-off extender I've played in the deck, but it's pretty useful because you'll always have. Well, ideally, you always have your Ignister Island, and I'm pretty sure a lot of decks in like the meta now, and just generally will be playing field spells.
So that was the Wicked banishing the Balancer Lord when summoned to its own, searching the was that one the
the tuner Baruru, and then
Baruru.
And then
so
special
because
Baruru.
Balancer Lord has been banished, you can special summon a Cyberse from your hand.
So you special summon the Baruru. I believe now you.
Yep. So that's the effect of Orc, which lets me summon during my opponent's turn. Summon Chino Baron Peacock, which lets me bounce up to 3, and the effect of Portal lets me add 1 back. So I mean that effect's really powerful. I did it then because I didn't want him to go into the it's Pegasus the Synchro.
Oh,
yeah. So if he'd gone into the Synchro, that just it sets him up quite a bit. I knew he hadn't used his normal summon, so I wasn't really wanting to use it then. But I thought it was best before the Synchro came out.
Go for the Idol Reborn. We get back. Probably Duel.
I thought it was Aichichi. You can get Aichichi back with that, can't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I went for Doan because I was going to add him back. Yeah, but you called by it, so that was
Yeah.
good for me. Look at my hand. Searching for answers I don't think are there.
I think you just.
Yeah, I think I just attacked into the. Was it? Yeah.
Big Stone.
This.
Big Stone's a more sensible choice because it's level 5, so I can summon something off it.
And we get. We did have the terraforming to get the Ignister Island. Then, but I don't think there's not. I've already used Baru's effect, and like I don't think there's much I can do. I think I make a Lingaribo.
I think so.
Yeah, just to apologies, but I clearly had something to do.
Oh no, those are my tokens.
There we go.
So, in the end phase, Chino Baron is a spirit monster, so it will return to my hand. But when it returns to my hand, it's special summons 2 level 4 tokens in its place. It just makes it easier to ritual summon it the next turn. So yes, there's the Lingaribo.
Yeah, I think you had I thought you had Megalith Emergency, so at least hopefully I could negate that at some point. No, Lingaribo is pretty weak, but so with the incantations, the tokens.
A top deck demands you as well. So really I can just start all over again. And I can still have that Orc on the field, so and he knows I've got the Shino Baron, so there's not a lot he can do in this situation. Well, I had the Inception as well, which just lets me get out. I can't remember whether I go for Candle or what's level 6 called again?
Bookstone?
No,
Talismandra.
Talismandra, yeah. So I go for the Talismandra, which that looks like it's the Fagel I've added. So that's the one that boosts the attack.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
This is Terror reminding me I have to use incantations for when I use Inception. So I can only use incantations, so I'll be using Talismandra. Ophil's effect lets me search for a Megalith monster when it's summoned. I've got too many cards, I can't keep track of what I've got. I can't even see what that is.
Oof. I think did you go for I think you typically go for is it
Oh no, it's the it's the negate targeting one.
Look at all those blue cards.
Yes. Armstrong?
Armstrong or something?
Yeah.
Something along those lines. Don't worry, guys. For our actual deck profiles, we will know these cards.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing it for a day.
And I've been playing Agnister for around about maybe a day or two as well.
Yeah.
Like I played a little bit of like YGO Pro when they first announced, but then it was on the back burner kind of thing.
But I really enjoyed Megalith. I like ritual archetypes. I played Cyber Angels. I liked their gimmick of sort of you just use themselves. I played Vendreads. I really wish Vendreads were good. They sort of had the extra link thing going for them for a while. They've just got a lot of restrictions. This, I feel, they work fairly well. Being able to ritual summon during your opponent's turn is really good. The new spell that's coming out in Eternity Toad looks really good. You can ritual summon a monster from your deck, and one of the things. It's a quick play spell, so it's less searchable than if it was a ritual spell. But it's quick play, so you can do it during your opponent's turn to ritual summon a Megalith from your deck. If you tribute twice the level, it's not just equal to it; it's twice the level. So I don't know how realistic it will be to summon out a level 8 during your opponent's turn, but summoning a level 4 is perfectly reasonable. And it means you can trigger that portal, you can get the Ophiel or Haggith effects.
May quick summon Unicorn. That's the dream.
No, it's just...
that would have been beautiful.
I'm pretty sure it just summons a Megalith.
That'd be so cool.
If it was just summon any of them, that would be really good. I think every ritual deck would play that.
Yeah, and I think... Yeah, Agnister's got a couple things too. I think they actually get their
Oh, there's the scoop.
Scoop, yeah. I'm not doing anything through that. I think they get like their. I think we're gonna getting like one of their first Link 6s. It's at Arrival at Agnister. It was just a very big boy, an unaffected boy if I remember correctly. But we'll see what happens.
It just sounds like Marincess with more steps.
He did other things. The other things seemingly are escaping my mind because.
Did I ever do a Marincess deck profile?
I don't think so.
I didn't do it. Oh.
Well,
right. Next up, Marincess deck profile. Connor, this one's for you.
I think we'll actually get like probably quite a few deck profiles going. I've also been picking up more Unchained things. Like it seems like it's getting a lot better.
Especially with the new cards.
No, that new card was like MVP for other people, the sneak people.
Yeah.
It's just a 3k body that doesn't target for destruction.
Yeah, me and Alex from PGSC, we've been putting together Plunder Patrol, so we'll hopefully... I think Alex is trying to pick up the rest of it by this Thursday. He also has a Lyrelust deck profile. Calum's wanting to show off his gimmick puppets and Atlanteans. So we've got plenty in the pipeline.
Yeah.
But I'll definitely get Marincess out. I didn't realise I hadn't done that yet.
I mean, we could have another Cyber showdown.
Yeah. I think we played a couple of games with it, but I don't think I ever really showed a deck profile. Plus, Marincess have just got the new card in Ignition Assault, so it's probably a good time to show it off. We've totally dropped the ball on what we're showing here. I've gone first because Terry lost, he wants to go second.
Yeah.
So I'm setting up the Orc, that's the Haggith I've searched there. That's the one that adds... Oh, that's the Ash. You'd Ash at that time, so I searched another one.
Yeah, just to...
and then I pass, so that's the Balancer Lord, pays 1,000. And that's
the
Baruru, the tuner.
We're gonna send...
What are you sending?
We send a Picari. I think we're really trying to dig for our spell.
So you send Picari, which is the one that searches the spell and trap, and you've just special summoned
it's Doishin, the one just free. Yep. So I think Rad's activating Mergy to get something out, and I use Baru's effect to special summon back out one of the synchro materials. Yeah, so
I'd used Emergence just before he activates the Pegasus effect.
So, I think I'm going to link off into Wicked.
Yeah, and one of the things that I didn't realise until pretty much the very end of the game was the emergence clause of monster I summon when it leaves the field, it goes to the bottom of my deck, not to the graveyard. I'd forgotten about that because it was off the field at this point. But it actually, it was very relevant.
Yeah, but it's fine. So I make the Lingeribo to banish to add another copy of Baruru. I think I'm trying to decide what I should special summon from my hand. So I think special another Baruru.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get big level 8 because I had pre-prep, which lets me search up to level 7, but all the Shino Baron, Baroness, and all the big level 8s I can't search with it. So he's gone for the Dark Templar.
And I forget that all of the megaliths are rocks, and rocks typically have really big booties. So I cannot attack over anything with Dark Templar, which would have been very nice because he would have triggered his own effect.
Oh, there's the hand. There's the outraged hand of why have they got such a big ass?
There we go.
And there's draw for turn, slap down portal. We top decked Mandu.
We're just sitting there going, yep, this is fine. This is all is right with the world.
That's me just checking what to search since I do have portal, so I can get something back from the grave. What do we go for? We go for, I think, that Shino Baron. I end up settling for.
Was it the Baron or the? Is it Haggett? No, the big 8, the one that's just boosts.
Fagel,
yeah.
I don't think I went for Fagel. Oh no, I might have went for Fagel just to beat over it.
Yeah,
because nothing else I had could beat over it. I wanted to save the Shino Baron for later in the game, so we searched the Fagel here. So that gains 300 attack and defense. Well, all my monsters gain 300 attack and defense for every ritual monster in my grave.
Yeah.
So the Ophiel went to my hand because of portal, but it should have gone to the bottom of my deck. So this is where we started making the mistakes. So I searched with Ophiel here when it should have been on the bottom of my deck. I shouldn't have got this Haggith. I would have had to go for a different line of play.
I mean, this is just us. Well, this is more like just us testing out our decks, really. Like, if we do any more voyages, we'll be a bit more on it this time. But it's just showing off the potential, really.
I mean, it wouldn't have mattered too much.
Yeah.
I'll explain it at the time when it mattered. I mean, that is fairly small that I got to search the Haggith. But when it came up, so Portal has sort of like a diagram effect. The first time one of my ritual summon monsters would be destroyed by battle each turn, it doesn't get destroyed. So that's the Pegasus Grave, which
that I just completely forgot about. The whole if everything's destroyed, banish it and shuffle thing. That would have been probably very useful. But again, we're testing things out. We see what happens. I'm eyeing up Baruru, trying to see what I can do.
I mean, the good thing about AI is they do have quite a lot of recursion.
Yeah, there we go. So, okay, so I special the grid sweeper because of the portal being out, and also Baruru, send Doyon, and then I think I synchro into Cyber's Quantum Dragon.
Yeah, because you. So you can't beat over any of my guys because they're both gaining. I think currently it was 1-5. So that puts my Ophiel on 3-1. Quantum Dragon's what, 2-5?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you couldn't be over it. So he just decides to use the effect.
So I think I've used Grid.
Oh, you used the Grid Sweeper effect as well. So that can banish itself and a light monster from the grave to non-target and destroy something. So it destroys the Fagel, which drops my Ophiel, and then you can just be over it. Doesn't need to bounce it back to my hand. We top deck the Manju again.
We have the call by this time. We're just making sure. Yep. We should.
That's me feeling a wee bit miffed. So I can't do anything. So I just need to pass.
And then today we decide, you know what? As we've learned in Game 3 is a time for weird plays and weird flexes, boys. Because we're just sitting there going, we could just attack over that Manju regularly. But where's the fun in that?
Yeah. He just that's him. You having me chuckles to himself. I'm asking, saying it's great. No, bounce it back to your hand. I'm like, okay.
We swing in for the extra 2-5 damage, mate.
Okay, so this is when I managed to make a couple plays. So we get the Ophiel again. Stratos is a good card. Oh no, did we not go for the Ophiel? Oh, I think I realised I might not have something to summon.
So you go for the Baron.
We go for the Haggith, discarding the level 8 Aristron. I could just go grab the deck and check. We get the Megalith Emergence, the Reborn card. And then we use Portal, get back the Ophiel, summon the Ophiel, grab the Orc, and then summon the Orc. Get the draw one, discard one. We get the pre-prep, and I get very excited.
Look at him smacking it down.
I'm so excited. Then Terry reminds me I have to discard one. So I discard the Shinobard. Then it reminds me I have to then replay the card.
Look, man, we've all had that moment where when we get the card we need. It feels great.
Okay, so I search for another Shinobaron, because Shinobaron and Shinobaroness are my only targets, and the Shinobard calling. Terry says to add back the...
One of the graveyard? Just because, why not? But, I guess you want them out of deck thinning, it's +1 either way.
Also, Shinobard calling, you can banish spirit monsters from your grave to summon.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. Oh, yeah.
So it means that I can banish the one that's already in there. So this is during your turn now, so I'd set the Emergence, summon out Fagel.
Is a Mono Awato, it's a spirit, and is it
A rock.
My God, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I
can make granite.
You can granite and search it. You could a Mono Awato just search all your stuff and then just do stuff with it. Just tribute it off.
I was tempted to play a Mana Awato in Zombie World because it shuts off all effects, but then it doesn't bounce itself to the hand because as it negates everything that's not a spirit, so then it negates itself. So it wouldn't bounce back to hand.
I mean, you see, as the thing, it's being a rock, being Megalith being rocks. There's a lot of cool interactions and stuff as well. So currently, I think Brad's deck is a 60-card deck.
Yes.
You might keep it as that. It seems, fairly consistent otherwise.
Yeah, so there's a lot of searchability. Rituals get fairly generic stuff like Preparation of Rites, Pre-Preparation of Rites. The Megalith Portal adds back any ritual. Orc can summon any ritual. So, and then you of course can Manju. So everything's very searchable, but I want 3 of everything just because sort of at this point in the game I'm running out of Ophiels, I'm running out of Haggiths and Ox. The level 4s are really key. So maybe if I'd remembered Emergence shuffling on the bottom of the deck, it would have been slightly better for me. So it was a bit of give and take. It was good and bad for me that I'd forgotten to put it on the bottom of the deck. I have considered Avarice as well because I do very quickly get 5 engrave. I don't necessarily need to combo off turn 1 if I can just get to that Shinobaron.
I think this is me trying to get some more field presence, so I get the Doyan's back, Doishin, Special Doishin, pull back my Dark Templar to get the Isle of Fusion, just to try to get more bodies on board. It's a really weird position because I'm generating a lot of guys on board, but it's still kind of awkward. So I think I'm linking off here into the Lingeribo just to trigger Doyan's effect to add back the Idle Reborn. What do we make this time? We use Bakari's effect to turn them into Lahore, Brad moving into the right zone, because I thought that was Lingeribo, to make Light Dragon, and using Light Dragon to pop the Baron, and then we just sort of pass. This is a really weird game state for me because it's like I think it was because I've taken quite a bit of damage and I just don't really want to risk it until I can fully commit.
Yeah, so I use Haggith's effect there. It should have gone on the bottom of the deck because of Emergence. So it's something I really need to watch out for. So we get the Ophel from hand. What resection? That is that Hawk?
I think so.
I think that's Hawk.
Yeah.
The summon during my opponent's turn. And then that's the Shinobird calling, banishing the copy to summon another one, which lets me bounce both of them. And what do we do now? Okay, so we just go for the Fagel using Ophel's effect.
Because this makes his guys very large.
Yeah, so I think they're both getting 3/3 I said at this point.
Yeah, something like so.
So
Idle Reborn to bring back. I can't remember exactly. I think I'm trying to survive, but I need to get some more resources. So I summon Picari to add, I think, another copy of
AI Reborn.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Well,
AI Idol?
it's AI Duel
Yeah.
Reborn, but I just go with I for the thing. So, so I get another copy of it. He attacks into it, and then I believe I use the
Pegasus.
Pegasus.
Yeah, I can remember this time.
Yep, because we need to live.
So that that shuffles the Baron back into my deck.
Sorry, add that actually copy. Just make sure. Yep.
Okay, so I don't actually manage to do any damage. I attack it, defense based monster. He sets up the wall with a Idol Reborn. And do you do much more this turn?
Okay, so now summon Duel to add back Bururu.
Oh, you go for the fusion, don't you? And just sit on the fusion.
Not this turn. I think this is where I think I go in and then I miss this because we make because this is the game 3, so I think at some point this is where I want to try to go in. So we special summon Baru, I send
Chi-Chi.
Yep. What do we do?
So Chi-Chi's the Stratos, so you can reborn that.
So we bring that back out. So we add I think I'm running low on monsters.
Yeah, I think that's when you realise you had very little left. So that's Marionetta, which is
proxy for Picari.
Yeah, because it adds a spell or trap. And then that's Link 3. Is that into Dark Templar?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we use Ignister Island, I believe, to special summon. Yep.
Picari.
We then Picari's effect Ignister Island. And then Dark Templar special back 2, so we special back
Doyen
and
Barura?
Probably. Yep. So I think this is where I try to go into the really cool things that happen with Ignister, where you just start going off. So you sync her off, bring back with Baru, bringing back the material used, and then we overlay
Doyen, which is level 4.
Overlaying into Light Dragon, and then we
for no reason whatsoever.
We should have popped it. It's fine, mate. So we misread a lot of things on Firewall Dark Fluid. So I thought it was for all 5 summoning types. It's just for Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, and Exceeds that it gains counters for. So it gains only
5k.
5k.
So it's on 7.5, which is a big boy. I will give you that.
It's a really big boy.
Oh no, it was 8k, wasn't it? Is Dark Fluid 3k?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so it's currently on 8k, and I currently have a 5/8 Fagel. So I use Emergence Effect to summon out the other Fagel. Now both of these effects are currently active to gain now 3k each, so both of them gain 6k, putting them on 8 fangs.
Yes. We tried to go for the flex Dark Fluid play, and it didn't quite work out. But we summoned Dark Fluid, and we were happy with ourselves for a brief moment in time.
So I do remember that Emergence summons in defense position eventually. So I do switch it to defense.
Me staring, going, no, not much I can do here. It's all right.
I'm just used to summoning things in defense. I forgot it was it. The outrage.
I'm just.
This is him calling me a cheater.
Yeah, sorry, chat. Yeah, just pure. It happens, boys. We've learned this entire game. Game 3.
There we go. I remember.
The thing with game 3 is what we learned is don't flex. Never flex, boys.
Yeah.
Just
So
go.
he's checking if it gains defense as well. It does, but he can speed over it, and then I remind him that portal protects it.
And I look at my hand dejected. So he said, on the one hand, the flex was stupid, but we get to see some very niche plays, which is very fun.
And you're also annoyed that you can't negate emergence because Dark Fluid only negates monsters.
Yep. He's summoning more things.
Yeah, so we've got 2 Fagels and an Ophiel. I'm looking at my X deck because I realised that by summoning the Ophiel, it means I can't quite beat over his guys. His 8k Dark Fluid, because my guys are on 7-9 now or something. But I was reading, and it's not for the ones used, it's just in his graveyard. And so, that call by banishes the Quantum Dragon, meaning that he doesn't have any synchros in his grave, which drops Dark Fluid down to 5/5, meaning I can comfortably beat over it. He then remembers Aichichi's effect, which he can, at the start of the damage step, destroy his monster, meaning he doesn't take damage and I can't redeclare.
Yep, but first I think we're trying to get more resources back, so we summon Doyon. Doyon's going to add us back.
How did you summon Doyon?
Idol Reborn is just set, but that's how I didn't die this turn.
That was why I targeted the Cyber's Quantum Dragon, because I knew you had AI Reborn.
Yeah. So we add back the Picari, then we add back the Marionette to go. We have a real Picari, so let's do that. Idol's just gonna chill there for a while I sit there and think about all life, and this is where we do it because it was just. We messed up bad, but at least we have another turn. So it clears that, and yeah.
So he currently has no board. I'm checking my X deck. He's telling me you better not be going into rank 8 because I've not put together an X deck for this because I never use it. And that's me just showing off. It's actually my Orchist X deck that I had. So I could have gone into the Dingirsu. But there was no real reason. I thought I'd maybe save it for the next turn. I could maybe make a Dingirsu send whatever he had.
At this moment, we're just we've burnt through all the stuff in our deck. We burnt through the sort of power cards of Light Dragon and Wind Pegasus. We're just looking at seeing what we get because again, the extra deck needs work. So far I'm sort of leaning on playing only one copy of each of the. The Synchro and the Xyz, just because they're nice, but...
So I'm just, that's me putting my Orc at the top, which I'm going to summon, then I put my Borrow Sword at the front of my X deck, and I was going to Borrow Sword you next turn.
we're trying things. We summon the Buffalo, we try to discard things, we try to draw more cards. We're just drawing pure spells at this point. We're mining to see what we even have left.
I'm pretty sure you had 2 Aichichis.
Yeah, I think we had so I think I first tried to add my proxy for it, and then realized, yep, we actually have one. Let's go with that. I think I'm debating Balancer Lord for some strange reason, but we actually just add the proxy, and then there we go.
Yeah, so Pendulum Source is a proxy for Aichichi because it adds monsters.
Yes.
I said Stratos because that's far more sensible.
It was look. We're also going for the same rarity, secrets, so that you see.
I'm sorry that the ulti Stratos you still left me aren't good enough.
It's not the same rarity. That's the key. We're trying to be as accurate as possible.
Marionette isn't the same rarity as Picari.
That was because I couldn't find another secret that added spells. Yeah, we're just sitting there going. Right, so we're just going to keep stalling until hopefully we draw anything.
And there I'm sitting there going, let me borrow swords.
We get to the point where we're like, we're just sitting there going, why have you not summoned any Link monsters? I want to fuse with anything. So we have to fusion someone with these two into Earth Golem Adagnister.
For some reason, Terry was trying to figure out which battle position to put it into. So I read it and I'm like, it obviously defense.
Well, it was because like it goes up to 4/6 for the turn summoned, and then there's just order battles that turn, and it's just like I was trying to debate.
You take no battle damage out of it.
I take no battle damage. I was like, can I kill anything? Do I like? Is it worth it? And I was just like, oh, we need
it has
to
an
live.
effect when it dies, doesn't it?
Yeah, when it dies by battle, you can special summon a Cyberus from your graveyard. So we just chill with our Earth Golem.
Reject calls from our mother, and then pass. So I summon back the Orc. I've actually realised the mistake of emergence that it has to go to the bottom of the deck. So I figure out which one that one was summoned
Not
properly.
a zombie channel.
So that would go to grave. The other three go to the bottom. Summon out Borrel Sword. I didn't catch what that last card in my hand was. Was it called by? So currently the Fagel is on far more than the Borrel Sword. So we Borrel Sword first and use the effect to gain, just to make it a little bit hencher. He's then able to summon the guy.
I was trying to think if there was any real good card I can do, but there was pretty much nothing. Like I was sitting there going, can I summon Dark Fluid back? But he doesn't get any. He won't have any counters on. He can't do there's no negation. We're out of resources. We're just like, well, we might as well try to draw a couple cards before we die.
Yeah. So kill that with the Fagel. Use the effect.
I think we draw into like a Monster Reborn and another Binding. So
we had the Borrel Sword for the final attack, and so that was the game.
Yeah.
And there's me just flexing with my extra deck. See you next time.
Please like, subscribe, and comment below. See you on the next video, guys. Shh, not a zombie channel.